welcome back. We're going to have some extreme fun because today I'm doing a new video. I just got up this morning and I just felt like it, so I do what I want to do. That's the beauty of my life, which I hope is also the beauty of your life. If you have never been here before, my name is Prieto. I am an online educator. I am an author. I am a speaker. I am all the things, but I am your massive hype woman because I want to help you to overcome your past so you can live your best damn future. Is it asking too much? No, I don't think so. So today I thought it would be really fun to get ready with you, but I guess they call it get ready with me. In times like these, I feel extremely old. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm forever 25, but in moments like this where I'm like, what do the cool kids say? I don't know. Look at, I even made notes for today. She's cute. Okay, so let's just get into it. And into it meaning I'm going to get ready while we talk. And I'm also going to drink some coffee. Maybe that's what I should do. Drink some coffee, cleanse the soul. Oh my gosh, look at the cutest cup ever. This is not sponsored by Yeti, but it should be because this is a Christmas gift from my husband and it says Mama Bear, which is what my babies call me. And there's a Mama Bear with 4 cubs because I have 4 dudes. Cutest damn thing ever. He's so cute. It was one of the most thoughtful gifts besides Louisa, who is my Louis Vuitton. It was one of the most thoughtful gifts that my hubby ever gave me, and I truly appreciate it. It's going to the grave with me. You think I'm joking, and I'm not. Okay, so anyway, I want to start by talking about something that feels like it's been weighing on everybody. And by everybody, I mean anyone that I come into contact with. So everybody, okay? But that is this feeling that right now, everything is like in turmoil. Everything feels off. Everything feels like chaotic. Everything feels cuckoo. Where have the months gone? Where did the months go? What is even time? Like, I don't understand, right? And so, oh yeah, cover them bags, girl. Cover them bags. And so I just don't understand where time has gone. And what I'm hearing from a lot of people is that right now, and I don't care what I look like, and you shouldn't either. And I also just do this because this is what all the cool kids say to do. It's probably too much for my old skin, but I don't care because I do what I want. But it feels like everybody is literally like going through something. We're processing feelings, emotions. We don't know how to cope. We're like going through all of the things. And I think it is beautiful, but it's also exhausting and crazy because when do we get to breathe? That's how I feel. When do we get to breathe? Can somebody tell me, when do we get to breathe? Okay. So that's how I feel right now. And if you're feeling the same way, please know that everybody else is kind of going through this. I think they said it's like a retrograde, Mercury, something rising, falling, spinning. It's one of those things. I don't know which one because I don't know. I barely know what day it is, what time it is, and where my brain is. Okay, so at this moment, that's how it is. But I know that there's a lot of things that are happening and processing in the universe. And hello, there's a freaking war going on. And it's like, oh, gas is horrendous. People are losing their homes. Like, you can pay a little extra for gas, Karen. Do you know what I'm saying? I know it sucks because it sucks. It's money. And I would like to keep my money where it belongs, in the bank or in my closet in the form of purses. But we don't really have a choice. Like, I'm not going to call up Vladimir, whatever Putin dude, and be like, hey, can you not, because you're cutting into my budget. It just doesn't work that way. So is it really worth complaining and bitching and crying about? And like every other day it's on the news. Oh my gosh, the prices have gone up, and you see like the little, yes, it's going up. Guess what? If you live in California, you really feel that because everything's more expensive in California. Yet we stay and suffer in unity. Anywho, perspective. I feel like a lot of it has to do with your perspective on life. It could be horrendous and you still have like the most beautiful life, but like you feel like it's horrendous, and it's like, oh girl, you need to check yourself because it's really a beautiful life. Do you feel me? Do you understand what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, look at this nothingness. That's how I like to start off my makeup face. I want to look like nothing. Did I succeed? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Next thing that I want to talk about is literally worthy. Let me just talk about worthiness for a second before I contour to the gods. I feel as if there's so many of us women. I just hosted the most beautiful summit. We had more than 500 women join us, and we were talking about limited beliefs, self-doubts, all of these things. And it's funny because the people who are the most successful, the people that you look up to, the people who are constantly showing up online, they're like, oh, my limited beliefs, it's a struggle every day. Say what? Rewind, stop the track, and you're like, you do too? Here's the key. It does not matter. It does not matter what you look like, what your life is like, what you're selling, what you're promoting, how you feel. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you show up for yourself. What matters is that you keep trying. What matters is that you push through, right? Feel like I cannot show up because I'm not the image of perfection. But then you talk to other people and they're like, oh, I'm so like, I don't like the way I look. And I'm like, yeah, me too. And they're like, what do you mean you too? And like you judge each other based off of how you feel about yourself, you know, which is ridiculous. And so here I am. Last video, I looked at it and I almost did not post it because my panza was like spilling over my pants. You want to see it? Go back and look at the other video. And I'm like, oh girl, like you better like step it up. That is not how you want to represent yourself. And I don't want to be thin. I've never been like that thin girl. She is thick. I am thick and I'm happy to be thick, but I want to be like in shape thick. Do you know what I'm saying? Like thickness, but snatched. I hope you're following along here. Although I have a kangaroo pouch and my kangaroo pouch will never probably leave unless I cut that bitch out. And then it's like, if I cut that bitch out, then it's like, I didn't appreciate the fact that my 4 dudes were here, because self-confidence, body image, self-love, hashtag all the things. And you see, like, you can have weight loss surgery, you can cut the stuff out, but then is it like you're not really appreciating where you've been and what you've gone through? Do you see how this feels like a mind twist? It's like, it's too much of like, you have to love yourself. And then it's too much of like, just cut her off. And then like, where's the in-between? Guess what? Hi, I'm the in-between. I have a kangaroo pouch. I have zebra marks to every inch of my body. I am thick. I will always be thick, but she gonna be snatched soon because that's what I feel right now. And then someday I might get extra fluffy, and that's okay because it's like hugging a cloud, and who doesn't want to hug a cloud? Do you know what I'm saying? So anyways, I don't know where this message went. Oh, this message was going that if you're not loving yourself, it's okay. Like you still need to show up for yourself. And the trick is confidence is not given. Confidence is not like, you're not born with it. It's not a trait that you're like, oh, here's the list of my accomplishments as well as confidence. No, Felicia, it does not work like that. You have to build upon it, right? So I look at my confidence in the way of not what I look like, because some days she looks like a homeless woman who really needs a bath. But most days I have to look in the mirror and be like, you are a badass bitch, and here is why. And I list out all of my abilities, my traits, my qualities, my go-get-isms, like all of these things. And it doesn't have a thing to do with the way that I look. Do you hear me? My confidence is not based on the way I look. It's based on my abilities. Like even to snatch here, like you don't like your double chin? Great. Let's tone it out with some, what is this? I don't even know what this is. It is what it is. That's what it is. So carrying on, I feel like your self-worth is being really stuck in so many things that have nothing to do with your looks. And a lot of it, I feel, has to do with this society of comparing each other and feeling less than because she can get in a bikini and float around with her jiggly bits hanging out. Like, if you try doing that, I can almost guarantee it's not going to make you love yourself more. And personally, I don't like things stuck into my jiggly bits, like a thong, for example. My husband says that I catfished him because I used to wear thongs. Joke's on you, buddy, because I am not catfishing you. I just choose to not have a freaking wedgie for the rest of my life. However, I told him when he starts wearing one, then I shall do the same. I know, and it's never going to happen. Although sometimes if he runs out of underwear, he might steal mine. So, I mean, who knows if he pulls out the wrong thing? If he digs to the back where all the thongs are hiding. You just never know, right? So here's what I want to tell you about your self-worth. It's bullshit. It's dumb. Some days you're not going to love yourself. Other days you must find ways to love yourself. The more you find ways to love yourself, the more your confidence will grow. And showing up for yourself is one of those ways that you can start immediately building up that confidence. Hello, I'm showing up right now. And it took me months of like, I wasn't hiding, but it feels like you're hiding, right? It almost feels like you're hiding. So that's that. Just keep building upon your confidence and trying when you know you are fabulous with or without all of the stuff that society tells you that you need. Although some of the things are fantastic, like these little hair clips. Yes, society. I was watching the news this morning, which I don't know why, but lately I've been loving to watch the news. But I don't watch it as in like soaking it all in, like, yes, I listen, I watch, and I like correspond. I am like that annoying person who's like, no, 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 we don't do that. And here's what you're going to do to fix the problem. Like, that's how I am in the morning as I am sipping on my like third cup of coffee. I'm telling the news yay or nay, and here's how we're going to solve it. Should I run for president? Probably. Next thing I want to talk about are kids and cell phones. Now, let me preface this by saying if you have a kid with a cell phone, this message is for you. Until you're offended, then this message is not for you. So a few years ago, my oldest dude came home and said, hey, Mom, when are you and Dad going to get a divorce? And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? You know something that I don't know? And he was like, no, what? And I go, why do you think that your mom and dad are getting a divorce? He goes, oh, no, I was just wondering, when I'm going to get a cell phone. And I'm like, what are you talking about, child? What on God's green earth are you talking about? And he said, all of the kids at school whose parents are divorced, they get a cell phone. And I really want a cell phone. So when are you guys getting a divorce? And I was like, kid, do you even know what a divorce means? And he's like, no. And I said, well, that's when your mommy and daddy split up, live in different homes, and you have to like share your time. And he was like, wait, what? And I said, yes, that's why they give them a cell phone so they can communicate with the other while they're at the other's home. And he was like, oh, all right. Well, no, I don't want that to happen, but I still want a cell phone. Well, guess what? You ain't going to get it. I want a lot of things like a Chanel purse, but I'm not going to get it, right? So you're not getting a cell phone until you're driving. And then at that point, you're getting a flip phone, just like your grandpa, because if he can keep it cool after all this time, so can you, kid. In the news this morning, they were talking about kids on their phones and addictions to TikTok. Hello? Your kids are addicted to TikTok? Do you see why you should not be giving them a phone? And if they have a phone, you should be deleting all of the apps that are unnecessary, like Snapchat. What you need to Snapchat a friend for? You're 10 years old. Please tell me. And they're saying that these kids are like so addicted to TikTok and all these other things. And it's like, Hello, do you not see the world around you? Adults are addicted to all of the apps. That is the reason they're there. They keep you addicted. They keep you sucked into them. So what do you think a kid who is so fragile, vulnerable is going to want to do? They're going to want to be on those apps. One video after another. Let's keep scrolling. What did you think was going to happen? But here's the thing. Try taking it away. Problem solved, right? Wrong, because then you go to a restaurant and your kid doesn't know how to function. Oh my gosh, when you go to a restaurant and these kids have the iPads and they have the cell phones and, oh, let's just keep them quiet. If we give them a phone, they can watch YouTube. Listen, your kids are not going to know how to function and have a conversation. You give them an iPad and say, hey, be quiet, don't talk to anyone. Guess what happens? They're not even going to know how to talk to someone. So they're either going to shut down or they're going to be one of those wild animals that is like, ah, and they don't know how to function until you put an iPad in front of them. And then they completely transform into like this little robot of greatness. And they're just like this. And they don't talk to you unless a video or an ad is on. They're like, can you fast forward this? Do you see what I'm saying? I see so many parents and so many families that all they do is take their iPads, their cell phones to restaurants. We don't get me wrong. Your girl did that for a long time until I saw that my children were like zombies and all I wanted to do was do that shit. So now we're like, no. It's been years, even my youngest, where we go to a restaurant and it's like, no, you can be quiet or you can have a conversation. How was your day? And then you respond back to me. You see how that works? But we're raising these little robots of like, oh yeah, now our 5-year-olds to 12-year-olds are addicted to TikTok and we don't know how to quit it. I don't know, maybe a good suggestion. Maybe take it away. Delete the app. Put on a time limit. Take the whole thing away. You should try this thing where you go outside and you play. Remember when we used to do that? Those were some good times. There's a lot of stuff that people are putting on each other and we're like, well, we don't know. This is a crazy world that we live in. No, Felicia, you are creating your own chaotic world because you're letting things just happen the way that others tell you. You don't have to do what other people tell you. I know it is shocking. This video is turning into be very dramatic. I don't even understand what is happening, where my mind is, and I'm on a roll. I'm probably going to offend some people, but like I said, when you get offended, please put this on mute and do not watch. Or like I told you, take it away. Who else would I like to offend? Oh, you know what that brings up? Yeah, let's do this. Let's go there. Disney. My husband would like to cancel Disney Plus because of all of the Toy Story, Buzz Lightyear coming out as being gay stuff, right? You know, Disney Channel has gotten a little risque, shall we say, be a little controversial, where it's like you see guys kissing or they're raising a kid or whatnot, right? And here's the deal. You're either one of two ways, where you fully come out and tell your kids about this lifestyle, about how people are, and I am all for that. I am pro everything because I want you to feel the way you should feel, the way you want to feel. I don't judge people. I don't care. But here's my deal. When you push something down a younger child's brain, just like on TikTok, when you're pushing things that they don't necessarily need to see. It's not a need. It's not a need to see it. It can feel very confusing to a child who doesn't yet understand themselves. And so when you push an ideology, when you push a new way, when you push certain feelings on certain little impressionable minds, we're not saying this is good or bad, but when you just influence them in a way that you do not yet understand, it can be controversial, obviously, but it's also one of those things where I, as my children's parent, should be able to say, I don't want to influence them or push something down on them until they're older and they can understand more and we can have a conversation about it. I know I'm pushing buttons right now and I'm not trying to. We talk about equality. We love everybody, but I then don't sit down and say, we love this person and that person and these people and that person and this thing and the unicorn and the this. Like, I don't have to do that because I say we love all people. And you can show equality by being the example for them, but also by not being like, now let me teach you about all the genders and about all the sexes and about all the ways of the world. When as an adult, it can feel too much. If it feels heavy for me, if it feels too much for me, and I don't fully understand all of the things as every day comes out with something new, how do you expect a child who doesn't even fully understand manners and how to wipe their own butts to absorb and understand all of these new ways? So what I am saying is that I appreciate and I honor Disney for standing up for their rights and saying, we will stand with you, but there's a difference between supporting and standing with you and then coming out and saying, this is what we're doing to support you. There are a lot of things in between that can be done. It's one of those things where it's like, it's hard because I support, but I also know that my young minds, because I am their mother and I understand them, and Lord above, sometimes I seriously cannot get them to wipe their ass, right? Or to take their medications or to feed themselves. I know they're not ready for that. And if your child's ready for that conversation or they need to be part of it, then you need to do it. But there's also a time where the parent needs to stand up for themselves and say, this is not right for my child right now, even though I support you guys, you know? So I think the biggest thing that we can do as parents is to educate them and teach them in our home how to love everybody, but most importantly, how to love and protect yourself, how to feel into who you are and not worry about everybody else, you know? Just saying. We're starting to come to this summer days. My beautiful thick thighs were a little exposed and my mom was like, oh, wow, she is very white. And I'm like, yes, she is. Here's the deal. I am not white. I have see-through skin. And if you are going to accept every other gender, identity, and color, you're going to accept my whiteness without making a comment that I should get self-tanner and that it's the easiest thing to use and you shall use it and just scrub a little. You know, you could just spray it on. I know all of these things, and yet I don't care. Did you hear me? So when you see me exposed in all my glorious see-through whiteness and you can see the veins running through my body, I want you to think about the fact that I don't care about your opinion and you shall keep it to yourself. Do not DM me and send me your favorite self-tanner. Please don't. Here's the deal. Because I am so white, when I go out in the sun, I burn to a crisp. I burn, baby, burn. It's not a pretty look. And then when I use self-tanner, because I am so white, it comes like all the self-tanner gets into the pores, and that's just not a cute look. I went and got spray tanned the week before my wedding, and my husband said, don't do it. I love your whiteness. Don't do it. But I did it because I'm like, society says, like, I want to be super tan and cute, right? So I went and got it spray tanned. I came home and I looked 3 shades of Oompa Loompa. I was not tan. And I told her the lightest possible, just like a nice glow. I was orange. I was bright orange. I was Oompa Loompa. I was the whole thing. So I learned my lesson in that moment that I need to love myself the way God intended me to, like a ghost. Did you see me in the sun? That's what I'm saying. I am super white. But here's the deal. People are like, oh, we should accept all colors. Yeah, but then you judge my whiteness. I mean, really? No, I don't need your self-tan, Becky. I'm great, like the whitest way that I am. Oh my, I hope some people really feel me and understand me on that way. I just don't have time for it. I went to track and field, to my son's track and field last Friday for 4.5 hours. And I didn't realize we were going to be right in the sun, but thank the Lord and my husband that I had an umbrella in the car. I keep an umbrella at all times. Otherwise, I would be bright red and boiling right now. And I just want you to understand that no matter what color you are, no matter what race you are, no matter what you deal with, some of us just can't tan, and some of us just don't want to. With all of that said, what I want you to know is that we're all going through things right now. Can feel so heavy or overwhelming, or it's like you're fighting with your husband and you're like, oh my gosh, we never fight. What's going on? Or you're feeling like this is the beginning of something big. This is the beginning of a change. This is the beginning of a turning point in your life. And so the best thing that you can do for yourself is to spend more time with yourself. Feel into how you're actually feeling and what might be going on in your life. All right. So I think I've talked for way too long today, but the whole point of this video is that I wanted to encourage you to not only reach your goals, but to start loving yourself. You know, you're going to start seeing a lot of women in bathing suits, and you might not feel up to wearing one right now. Guess what? You don't have to. Or do it and you don't have to document it. You can just love yourself. I know. Isn't that crazy? People think that like if you didn't wear it, if you didn't show it, if you didn't document it, it didn't happen. Here's the thing. Your husband, your kids, you are going to know when you have put on the damn bathing suit and when you have lived your best life and loved yourself in the process. It doesn't need to be anybody else's business, and it doesn't need to be freaking documented. However, if you feel that you need to document it to build up your confidence, your strength, and all of those things, do it. Do it. And don't give a shit about what you look like. I feel like we put so much pressure on ourselves to show up and be perfect and all of these things. And it's like, no, who told you that? Like, that's why we all feel so insecure, why we all feel so uncomfortable. And that's another reason why I don't want to push things down my children's throats when I know that they're still just getting used to being in their own skin and going through growth changes and learning and all of this stuff. It's like, let's slow down on the pushing. Let's start enjoying life and stop worrying about all the things that we have to, you don't, you identify, you don't identify, you belong to this party, you don't belong to that party, you vax, you don't vax. It's like, calm down. Can we get back to living life? We don't have to fight over what you believe and what I believe, because the world is a beautiful place and we're all going to have different ideas of what we think. Like, I am in a pursuit to become more open to you, because I feel like a lot of us only show up when we're perfect. And then you portray a person who is this amazing, like, look at me, I'm only glam and fabulous, but most of the time you hide out in your house and you look a bum, you know? And so I'm just trying to show up more authentically as myself and not care what I look like. And I hope that you do the same. I hope that you start loving yourself just the way you are, show up just the way you are, and literally start becoming the person that you want to be. But there's so much power and beauty and standing in your value, your worth as a human being, as a woman, as a person, as an individual, and not as just a mom and just a wife and just a this and that. Like, come on, right? So I encourage you, especially now that it's becoming summer months, that you don't judge yourself, that you don't look at other people and criticize yourself. But when you see a woman who's standing in her power, like, cheer her on, but then turn around and cheer your damn self on. I hope you got something from today's video. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because who knows when my videos come out? It is a mystery to all of us, including myself. And so you don't want to miss them. So hit the little bell thing somewhere in this vicinity. If you want more help, if you need guidance, I will list all of my links down below, but I am super excited about my new course coming out called The Goal Getter. And that's exactly what I want to help you do, is to reach all of your goals now. No self-sabotage, no perfectionism. I teach you how to let all of that go so that you can actually reach your amazing goals. All right, guys, until next time, take care.